Richard, you've got a Vision Wide machine here in stock. Can you tell us what the model is?
Yes, it's an SF 4120.
Could you elaborate on the specification of it? Yeah, tell us about the detail.
It's a 4 metre X-axis, 2 metre Y-axis, and a metre in the Z, with a 35 horsepower spindle motor coupled with a 2-speed gearbox, and that's a BBT 50 spindle.
What sort of machine is it? Double column, gantry?
It's a double column machine, 32 tool change, and it's very wide spec. It has through spindle coolant. There's preparation if you want to put a 4th axis. There's some basic equipment if you want to go probing, whether that's spindle probe, table probe. So, and it comes with a FANUC OI F control.
Why have you bought this machine in from stock?
Well, it's part of the policy of Ward Hi-Tech. One of the staples for us is to have a variety of large machines in stock, not just from Vision Wide, but from the other distributors, Watchon, Dali, etc., so that we know that when people are looking for this type of machine, availability of machine is equal to any of the purchasing decisions that customers look at.
The last one you had, you sold pretty quickly, didn't you?
Yes.
What's special about what they're doing with it?
Well, we turned that machine into a little bit of a unique machine because of the customer's requirements. Initially, they were looking at a router type application where they wanted very high RPM, typically 16, 18,000 RPM, to do some very, very minute profiling of thin plate, but also had a requirement for machining titanium, heavy duty machining in aluminium, big depths of cut. So they were looking for a man for all seasons. And what we did was we took the core capabilities of the SF machine and added to it an iBag spindle, which is electronic spindle. So it's not driven by the machine tool spindle, it's got its own motor. So it's an 8 horsepower motor that can run up to 24,000 RPM. It's oil cooled, so if somebody wants to do long surfacing applications, it can run 24 hours without having to stop and cool down the spindle. And it can take up to a 16mm diameter cutter. And it can be taken out of the machine, and within minutes you convert back to the conventional double column machine.
Vision Wide is a company. We've got 4 machines on the board behind you there.
Yes.
Can you maybe just point out some of the key features that stand out on this brand?
These are a very wide range of machines, and the F series that we can see here, there are lighter duties and much heavier duties. The BM series is probably one of the heaviest versions. 5-axis heads. This is a normal 3-axis machine, but one of the things with these types of Vision Wide is the availability of heads, so that the 5-axis head is obviously purposely fitted to the machine, but we can take a standard machine and have head changing as a standard feature, so we can have 2-axis or 3-axis heads. And also we can have an extended spindle, so that if people want to have a high Z-axis because of the 2 and 3-axis heads, but still be able to reach low to the surface, we can have all that as a head changer.
Is there a lot of things that you can add to these machines as well then?
Yes.
I'm sensing there's a lot of variations.
There is, and also one thing that's important is that this designer machine, especially the way the guarding works on the doors, can easily be built into a machine with a roof. So one of the things with health and safety is, especially people machining aluminium, they want to contain the chips, coolant. On some model it's not so easy to have a roof, but this range of machines can have a roof, no problem.
Based on the success of the first or the machine we looked at last time that you sold, who will you be aiming this stock machine at?
I think a lot of aerospace type customers, but also people who've got the need of quite a large Y-axis, because although the machine we've got in stock is a 2 metre Y, we can go much bigger on the y-axis. On different models in the range, we can probably go over 4 meters. So y-axis is generally one of the big things that drives people towards y-axis requirement drives people towards specifying a double column machine.
What about the commercial support you would offer someone that was a bit, let's say, at this stage, apprehensive to invest in such a large machine?
We understand the nervousness of the market because of the COVID-19 and everything. So we can really assist people with, things like 0% finance. We can look at structured payment terms. We can look at a payment pause. We've got really 3 different types of finance products, which are all driven by our own internal Ward Hi-Tech finance division. And sometimes it may be that we need a mixture of all 3 of the options that we can have. So really, any customer coming to Ward Hi-Tech, even if it's a machine rental to begin with, because they're not totally sure of how the market's going to go or whether that contract's going to, become a fully fledged year-on-year requirement. Anybody who's got an inkling of looking for a machine and they've got some question marks in their own mind, then we've got an option and a product from our finance division for them. And really we want to give them that little bit of confidence to maybe ideally push them over that edge into having a machine on their factory floor that they can make use of in a way that they can see the sense in the financial structure behind it.